Industry in Birmingham also carried on and started producing larger objects as well. One of the most famous companies with the city name in the title is Birmingham Small Arms, or BSA. For any fans of Peaky Blinders, that name will be very familiar, as it's the factory that is robbed at the end of the first series. But they're most commonly associated with motorcycles. This motorbike, a BSA bike from 1911, produces a mighty 3.5 horsepower. If you wanted to buy one brand new in 1911, it would cost you £50, which was quite a considerable sum of money. If you wanted to have an engine fitted to it, it would cost £56. Motorbikes were a real change in British society. Instead of having to get everywhere either by walking or by foot, you could now get all around the country on the road network using a motorbike. It wasn't until the 1920s that the car began to overtake the motorbike as the people's transportation of choice, thanks to the work done by Herbert Austin at Longbridge. So whoever owned it, it wasn't just a bicycle with a motor on it. It was freedom, it was independence, and it was the ability to travel outside of a very small radius. Of course, the name Birmingham Small Arms doesn't actually apply to motorcycles. Small arms, in this case, indicates smaller weapons. This is technically a small arm because it's a gun that one person can carry themselves, but it weighs about 12.5 kilograms, and as you can see, is not that small at all. This is the Lewis gun, a very popular gun for the British forces during the First and Second World Wars. It was designed by Isaac Newton Lewis, who was an American colonel who wanted to create a machine gun that you could carry around and move around and create portable fire, rather than a tripod machine gun that weighs about 25 kilograms, had to be water cooled, and was stationary, was unable to move very quickly. You'd need about 3 people to move one of these machine guns. This is very much the darker side of Birmingham industry. The gun industry, still thriving today, although on a much smaller scale, created thousands, if not millions, of guns that were sent all around the world via the British Empire. Some of those guns were exchanged for very controversial products, and even, in some cases, enslaved people. These guns were used from 1914 onwards by the army and weren't retired until the 1950s. They were also used by Canadian forces and originally adopted by the Belgians, so it was known as the Belgian rattlesnake.